How you guys doing today? All right. So, gonna go over some tips on fire safety in the home. Talk to you guys about a Knox box for your home. Go over what that is and explain how you guys can get it if that's something you guys are interested in. And then go over some fall prevention stuff. So, and then we'll go through these slides, go through a little bit of information. Also got some handouts for you guys to take home, look over, read over. A little fire safety, fall safety checklist for you guys if you guys want to take that home, kind of go through it, that sort of deal. We also got a few props with us today, kind of give you guys some sort of visual presentation with it as well. So, today, obviously, we're here to talk about some fire safety, how to keep you guys safe at home. My name's, like he said, Engineer Joe West. This is my friend, paramedic Hannah. So today's fires, they're a lot hotter and get a lot hotter quicker than what fires used to get back in the day. A lot of the stuff now today's, materials made of synthetic fibers, stuff like that, it's just not made like it used to be, I'm sure you guys have tried moving stuff around, moving some furniture. It's a lot lighter than some of the stuff, some of that old stuff, it just made with solid wood. Took a lot longer to burn. And it gives off a lot of more harmful smoke than your other stuff because it is, again, made with all that synthetic stuff, stuff from a factory and all that stuff. So that smoke getting inhaled into your lungs is a lot more toxic. So nowadays back then you had a lot more time. You could probably get about 6-7 minutes to be able to escape your home. Now you're looking at about 2 minutes. So with everything that we have in our homes, that time's gotten drastically shorter. So make sure you have working smoke detectors, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you change batteries out. Nowadays they have smoke detectors that don't take batteries. They have a 10-year guarantee on them, so you can put those up. Also, if you guys don't have any smoke detectors at your house, we get funding through the state and we get some smoke detectors that we can go out and canvass and go to you guys and make sure you guys have working smoke detectors in your home. We do something that's called Smoke Alarm Saturdays. It's the first Saturday in June every year, and that's where we go take that Saturday and canvass, see what residents need smoke detectors, and if you guys have smoke detectors but they're old, they're within, outside of that 10-year date range, we'll be more than happy to come in, replace them, put new ones in for you, and it's no cost to you guys.
Outside of that first Saturday in June, you can call the fire department. Sometimes we have extras from that grant initially. We also do some stuff during October, which is Fire Prevention Month. But if there is an issue either with your smoke alarms, it's going off, you can't get it to quit beeping, please don't hesitate to call. We prefer you call 911 if you're having an issue with the alarm, just so we can verify that it's not an actual fire or other hazard that's causing the alarm to go off. But if there's issues with installing smoke detectors, replacing them, if you're concerned about getting up on a ladder for the fall risk, which also ties into what we're going to talk about today, please don't hesitate to call the phone number that's listed on the fire department's website. We are more than happy to come out, help change smoke detectors, make sure the ones that you have are in date, etc. So it's not just us coming out to replace them at the beginning of June. We are happy to help all year round to make sure that the alert measures in your house are up to date as needed. And then the last thing on the fire slide just before this one is make sure that you go over a plan with the people in your household for how to get yourself out of the house within that 2-minute time frame. So you hear your smoke detector going off, make sure everybody has a designated meeting place. If people are coming from different rooms of the house, you have multiple ways to get out of the house. If one is engulfed in flames, you have a different way to get out of the house than just one mean of egress.
Absolutely. Like she said, if you guys need us, call us. It's better to be safe than sorry. So we'd much rather come out and deal with having to replace a battery than come out and having to fight a full-on fire. So today, a lot of the top causes of home fires cooking, space heaters, smoking, electrical, and candles. So we'll go over to some of the ways that we can help mitigate some of these top causes and help prevent them from being a cause of a fire in your house. So any of you guys smoke? Good, it's a nasty habit. If you do smoke though, you always want to make sure you smoke outside. Use deep, sturdy ashtrays. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, they were huge, very deep. You had like little cutouts. People could put their little cigarettes and stuff in them. So if you guys do smoke and you guys still have those, or can get a hold of one that's deep like that, definitely use one of those. Always want to wet your cigarette butts before you put them out. Obviously never smoke in bed. Hopefully if anybody does smoke, they're not doing that. Smoking and sleeping never go hand in hand. And please, 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 if you guys use home oxygen, anything like that, or anybody in the household uses home oxygen, please do not smoke in that home around that oxygen. If you guys light candles, never leave them unattended. You want to make sure they're always 1 foot away from anything that can catch fire. Curtains, tablecloths, decorations, anything of that sort. You can also dispose of cigarette butts if you guys don't have like an ashtray or anything like that. You can also bury them in some sand. That'll help kind of keep it from setting anything on fire. 7% of smokers, here's a little fun fact, 7% of smokers whose smoking started reported home fires were on oxygen. Yeah. So, and then the amount of fires that oxygen equipment was involved in, 220 were reported from the time of 2007 to 2011. And there were 7 associated deaths per year. 1 of every 3 fires resulted in a death, and then 1,200 ER visits per year for burns, and that was going from the years of 2003 to 2006. And in 2007 to 2011, 46% of all fatal home smoking material fires, the victims were 65 or older. Space heaters, always want to keep them away from anything that can burn. Shut them off, unplug them when you're not using them, plug them directly into an outlet. Try not to plug them into an extension cord if you can. If you have to plug them into something, let it be a surge protector. Definitely do not want to extend the length of cord and stuff like that from what they're plugged into. Let's see. Kitchen fires. Never leave anything that you're cooking unattended. Don't wear any long, low-hanging clothing, anything like that. So when you're like cooking stern or whatever, nothing that can get in there and catch fire, stuff like that. Definitely want to always use oven mitts to handle any pans, pots, stuff like that. Keep a lid nearby. If a pan or pot does catch on fire, you can just slide that lid right over it and smother that fire. One of the things fire needs is oxygen, so you put that lid over top of it, that takes away that oxygen aspect of it. So then that'll help mitigate it and put it out. Obviously, if you've taken any medications, anything like that, it makes you any kind of drowsy, had enough drinks to make you drowsy, anything like that, we don't want to start cooking when we're feeling a little sleepy. If you do catch fire, we all know from elementary school, right? Stop, drop, and roll. Keep your hands over your face and just keep rolling back and forth until you know that fire's out. Use cool water for 3 to 5 minutes to cool a burn, and call us right away. Second you give us a call. Smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Like I said, we kind of already hit over that a little bit. This, first part. make sure they're working, make sure you test them every 6 months. Like we were saying, if you guys need any help with that, just give us a call. We'll be more than happy to come out and help you out and take care of that. We also have bed shakers and strobe alarms for anybody that's hard of hearing. They hook up with your smoke detector, and once it goes off, it reads that decibel, and it's a little thing that you put underneath your mattress, and it kind of shakes your mattress and gets you alert that way. We kind of already hit over formulating a escape plan. You always want to make sure you have 2 ways out. Practice it. I know it might seem silly since everybody's, not in elementary school, not younger, but it is always, no matter what age, very important to practice that escape plan. Let's see. If you can't get out, shelter in place, close as many doors. I don't know if you guys have seen it going around the internet, but there have been many recent fires where a bedroom door has been closed and the entire house is just a complete loss. But you go to open that bedroom door and that bedroom looks like it hadn't even been touched. So if you guys can't get out, make sure that door is closed. It'll do a lot more than what you think it will. Place a towel underneath the door and just hang out and make as much noise as you can until we can get there.
Sleep with your door closed.
Absolutely.
If you close your master or your bedroom door before you go to sleep, even if your house does catch fire, you bought yourself a ton of time, either A, to find a safer place to shelter within your bedroom, in your bathroom, something along those lines, or you at least buy yourself time to be able to create a barrier between yourself and the fire if it starts in your home. Because like we were saying, after this, feel free to look it up on Google, YouTube, any social media you prefer, but there's both from the National Fire Prevention Association and just fire departments across the country have shown videos, like Joe said, of those massive house fires, and you can go through and you will open bedroom doors or bathroom doors, and there'll be some smoke damage, but relatively untouched from flames, fire damage, etc. And if you think about it, those are the kind of rooms you want to put your life in, because that door is a substantial, it's not there on accident. It is a substantial barrier between you and fire should that happen to you overnight, and it gives you some more time to be able to put your exit plan in place in order to get out of the house safely for you and your loved ones.
Absolutely. Know your number for us. Our number is 252-354-2445. We'll write it down. Make sure you have it before you leave here. Obviously, if it's anything that is of any emergency or anything like that, call 911. Don't worry about trying to look for any type of number or anything like that. Just go ahead and dial 911, get us out there. Like I said, plan your escape for your abilities. More so if anybody has any disabilities or any mobility issues, anything like that, you want to make sure that that is included in your fire escape plan, and that you make arrangements to accommodate that. Like I said, not everybody gets around the same. Not everybody can get out as easily as others. So just if you have any issues, anything like that, make sure that's accounted for in your home escape plan.
Additionally, if there's any needs within your household, whether that's specific mobility devices or someone's bedbound, etc., feel free to call the department or call the dispatch center, the non-emergent line for Carteret County. They can put a note on your address so that in the event that there is some sort of a fire-related or like emergency at this particular address and you're not able to answer the phone and tell them over the phone, we still have the ability to access that information to know that there's someone who has additional needs that might have not been able to get out of the house in the same amount of time that an able-bodied person would have been able to.
And to piggyback on that as well, like I said, I got some papers for you guys to take home if you want. There's Knox is a company that makes Knox boxes. I don't know if you guys have ever paid attention, but some of the businesses around here, they have like a little black box that's kind of up on the wall by the door on the outside of the business. So what that does is essentially we have one master key and it stays locked, and the only way we can get to it is we have to put in a personal code. and only the fire department has access to that. But once we get that key, we can go to that box, unlock that box, and then there are keys to access the business itself. So luckily, it's not only for commercial properties. They have made it to where you guys as residents can take advantage of that as well. And like I said, I got the papers here to let you guys know where to get them, and if you guys have any questions, I can feel free to help you navigate that and get to them. But essentially what it'll do is you can have an option to hang it over your door, or you can have an option to bolt it directly to your house. But essentially what it would be is you would put a spare key in there, and again, the fire department would only have access to it. So if something were to happen, like you guys were home alone or whatever and fell and couldn't get up to let us in, we would have a way to get in there without having to force any doors, damage any property, anything like that. We can get in there safely, keep your property intact, and be able to lock the door on our way back out or whatever. So, and like I said, at the end of it, I'll leave you guys with that so you guys can take a look at that if that's something you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Medic Hannah, and she's going to go over some fall stuff with you guys.
So this will be quick because from last month, as I'm sure y'all know, I don't like talking at you forever. So very quickly, wow, none of you look a day over 20. Absolutely not. Aging does increase your likelihood of falls and broken bones related to falls. Thankfully, though, fall prevention is something that you have a whole lot of control over. So there's some statistics on the board just that falls become more significant as you age. It's true for everybody. It does not discriminate on gender, race, anything of the sort. It just is kind of how things go as our bodies start to break down and become a bit more fragile. Now, I have a checklist here, and I know it's kind of written small, but Joe's going to hand them out real quick. And it basically just kind of goes through, there are 8 things in total that you can kind of do according to the National Fire Prevention Association that can help reduce your risk of falls. And that kind of relates to some of the props we brought in with us today. So in short, it's going to be exercise regularly, so making sure that you're taking care of your body. Now, that's not saying that you have to go and do CrossFit 4 times a week or anything like that, but making it a habit to regularly move your body, work your muscles out, make sure that you're in good physical shape, because the better physical shape you're in, the less likely you are to have an injury from a fall, which is, the falls are inevitable, but we would much rather you fall and have to call so we can help you get back up than have to call us because you've broken a hip, a leg, an arm, etc. Because those surgeries are substantial and come with a lot of cascading effects. If you are concerned about the intensity of exercise, please, your primary care doctor is a great resource for this. Having a referral to a physical therapist or occupational therapist who can kind of put you on track with being able to do some exercises and just general everyday muscle strength to be able to go through your daily life appropriately. They also can get you connected with people at your gym or in your community resources to be able to go to various classes that will help just general mobility, which is the goal. The other thing is, as much as we're in a hurry culture, time is on your side when you're trying to maneuver around your house. If you're getting out of bed, don't be in a hurry. Get your feet all caught up in the covers before you take a tumble out of bed. If you're getting up off the couch, making sure your feet are firmly planted on the floor and that you're wearing non-slip shoes. Socks and hardwood are not friends. It doesn't matter if you are the most steady on your feet, it gets everybody. It's hence why toddlers are built the way they are, because they tumble all the time. So making sure you're wearing some non-slip shoes, whether that's a pair of Crocs like Joe has here, a pair of slippers with grippy soles on the bottom. They're just really easy if you've got socks, barefoot, whatever, to be able to walk around your house in. They decrease your likelihood of falling substantially. Let's see here. The other thing is we're going to make sure that the general walkways in your home are clear. So we want to be cognizant of where we're putting electrical cords, how our rugs are laying in the house. Do we have cabinets, books, magazines that are on the floor? Do we have things that really you have to put yourself in the mindset of, I've just woken up in the middle of the night to go pee. I'm super groggy. Is this something that I'm not going to see with my more or less subconscious brain? If that's a yes, let's relocate it. Let's put it up high enough where you can see it or where it's not going to be in the way of tripping you up as you're trying to walk around your house. Railings are really good. They're our friends. And being okay with taking lighter loads and more loads than trying to take it on one trip. I am guilty. I'm a one tripper. If I'm gonna bring stuff in the house or somewhere in the house, it's gonna be at one time or that's it. It's not going. But taking frequent trips that are lighter are gonna be mean that if we do fall, there's less weight moving around. You're less likely to injure yourself because you have a free hand or you have the ability to catch yourself a little bit better than trying to be off balance with something heavy.
Sometimes you'll catch me carrying bags with my teeth. I'm that committed.
Let's see, and then this is a very easy fix as well. The lighting in your house is super important, making sure you can see the ground in front of you so you can identify those hazards, the magazines, the power cords, the rugs that are all bunched up. Night lights or sensor lights, there are plenty of options for those at your local hardware store. If you need assistance in trying to figure out where they should go or if you need them or not, feel free to use us as a resource. We can come help you kind of put a plan in place or take a walk through your residence and see how we can help, maybe give some pointers for some of these things. The non-slip mats, like we were just talking about, a railing and a non-slip mat in the bathroom or like in the shower specifically, those are going to be super helpful so you have something to kind of lean onto and be able to at least lower yourself to the ground instead of falling all the way to the ground should you fall. But the non-slip mat helps substantially with your bare feet in the slippery bath or shower. All right, and obviously the focus for this is on the flooring, but being aware of, again, the rugs, so we're making sure those are smoothed out. If you need to, there are a couple of different options. You can use tape to go around the outside of the rugs to help hold them in place. There's also various adhesive materials that you can put on the underside of a rug to hold it in place on a hardwood floor so it's not sliding all over the place. That again is going to help keep it from folding over, bunching up, et cetera, creating a tripping hazard. Be aware in your driveways, on your porches, going up the stairs of uneven surfaces. So a lip in your driveway from where a tree has kind of burrowed some roots underneath the driveway and it's created a little bump. Be wary of those. Paint them yellow if you need be. Just make sure that you're aware of the ground that you're walking on. And although it's not as much of an issue around here, being wary of ice and snow, as those are going to basically make it feel like you're on that bathroom floor after it gets all steamy. It's just a slip and slide.
Also, too, as time goes on, everybody's carpet, doesn't stay the way it did when we first installed it, right? So one thing you can do, because not everybody's able to fully get those wrinkles out of the carpet, so one of the things that we're able to do is to get a rug, obviously with like a non-skid backing, or take some of that double-sided sticky tape or something like that to kind of secure it and put it over that fold or that ripple in that carpet. That way you guys don't have to worry about getting caught up on that fold and ripple in the carpet. Mm-hmm. So
you can also call a carpet installation company and they can come stretch your carpet back out. They'll kind of take out all those wrinkles and then cut off the excess and you're kind of good to go. And again, like we talked about, the non-slip shoes, they're going to be safer than, high heels, the slippers that have like very soft bottoms, socks, etc. The grippy socks from the hospital, as cliche as it is, are lovely. You can get those off of Amazon and from most physical therapy or occupational therapy offices. And then just some general notes. Creating a list of medicines that you take regularly and or like medical conditions, allergies that you have, just in the event there is a medical emergency related to you or your loved one. This is information that we have easily accessible because sometimes it's not your fault if you fall. Sometimes your heart medication reacts differently than it normally does, or maybe you accidentally took too many doses, your blood pressure drops too low and you fall from things that you have no control over. But having a list of medicines and or your medical problems allows us to help to start to troubleshoot why you fell. Because sometimes while the fall is an issue, we also need to fix the reason why you fell, whether it's your blood sugar, a heart problem, blood pressure, etc. And having a copy of a sheet of some sort, either on your refrigerator, on the bathroom mirror, etc., is extremely helpful for us being able to best help you. And if there are any questions, please call your pharmacist or your doctor about the side effects for your medicines. Sometimes it's not always well advertised what medicines are going to make you sleepy, what have the potential to impact your balance, your blood pressure, some of those things we talked about that can make you fall. And some medicines interact very negatively with other medicines and or with alcohol and certain types of food, etc. So it's super important to know not just what your medicines are for, but how they affect your body negatively so that you can do your best to kind of combat that. The life alert devices, as sometimes funny as they are, the commercials for them are entertaining. They are very helpful. So there are some that you wear around your neck like a necklace. There are some that are on your wrist. You can have some that are on your bedside and in your bathroom, but they are very, very helpful if you live alone and or you're going to be alone for a long period of time. So if you have people in your household that travel for extended periods of time for work, and or you come and go from the house and there's times where one of you's home, the other one's not, it is very, very helpful to be able to have a way to call for help if you can't get to a telephone. Most of the time, your insurance will cover a subscription like this once you reach a certain age, if I understand it correctly. Your primary care doctor is going to be a great resource for figuring out whether or not this is good for you or whether this is a resource that would be beneficial for you. Do we have any questions about anything we've talked about? Yes, sir.
Will you explain to them about the medically fragile registration?
Yes, sir, absolutely. So on the town's website, there is a registration page for individuals in the home who are medically fragile. In essence, it's a form that comes directly to us at the fire department. It's going to be that person's name, date of birth, medical conditions, current medications. It's a lot like that list that we talked about that can be posted on the fridge, except it comes directly to the fire department so that in the event of some sort of natural disaster that either happens upon us unexpectedly or that hurricanes, et cetera, where there might be people that need assistance, extra assistance evacuating, or need extra assistance should power go out, we would not have access to utilities for a little while, et cetera. These are people that the fire department can go through and check on and be able to provide additional assistance to because of their medical conditions. This is a form that's filled out online, preferably, but if you need a paper copy, please stop by the fire department. We're happy to get you one, and we can answer any further questions about that as well.
I have a couple of fire questions.